mixin', fixin' for another big game. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals as they get set to square off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something that's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader, because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Yeah, brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb, because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
From the gun on third down, Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Green 80.
On second down, here's Fournette. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
And they do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and it's now a 7-0 game. Returning it, John Ross. Oh, good move. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Nice move at the 40. And it winds up a terrific return, but markers are down. And this is going to come all the way back.
Return team.
So that will push him back.
First down.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Fisher. With a catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. The numbers for Mixon last week, 16 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Back to throw. Fisher. Yeah, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does, and they want to make sure they get him there. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They run for it with Mixon, and he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Denied on 4th down is Joe Mixon, and the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. But a little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game. That they've got to match them point for point as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
380.
Fournette on the counter. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Into the red zone, it's Bortles. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap, came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
380. 380.
Bortles now to throw. Dumps it off to Fournette. It's a gain of 7, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One thing you're hoping for. When you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Bortles going to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As his guys are in for 6, and the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
It just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing on 1st down. Fisher. He gets this one to Boyd. And out across midfield down to the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
Leopard! Leopard!
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Watch him now, Barney!
On second down, here's Mixon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Detroit! Detroit!
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A handoff to Mixon. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On third down, Fisher. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And Bullock will put this one through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Hey, green 80! Green 80!
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Bortles. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he can't.
Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they're throwing interception, and they're going to come away empty.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Green 80. Green 80. Green 80.
On second down, here's Bortles. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Green 80.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Green 80. Green 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Green 80.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. So we hit the halftime break here in... No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick, please? Thank you. All right, let's go. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, he shifts past him. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard, and while no one wants...
The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, Fisher to the left side here for Eifert. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. They're going to try and throw. He's got his man, Boyd. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down.
Check. Patriot.
Here's a give to Mixon, and he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. To the left side here for Eifert. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And Eifert has it. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 23 yards on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
380.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop it. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the fourth. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They need a touchdown, the two-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. To throw on second down, Fisher. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Stepping up, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Jags grab it. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate it. Of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
He's still rumbling. Isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They go play action here on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Here's Bortles to throw. Safarian Jenkins has it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Bortles to the former Jet, Safarian Jenkins for the Jags' first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
No gain there on the completion, second and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
380.
Here's a give to Fournette, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And Lambeau will put this one through, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, Fisher. Green flexing his muscle. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A gain of 32 that time. First down now, but that clock rolling. A handoff, running left, Mixon. Space to run past the 20. And finally down at the 9-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw. Fisher underneath. This is Bernard. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, set, green 80.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this kick is not going to be close. close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. All right, so then instead of a 2-score lead in the waning moments, that miss means they're going to need to sweat this one out after all, partner.
Nothing comes easy in this league. That could turn out to be a miss of disastrous proportions. So now they need to call on their defense one last time to bail them out.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes officials just say let them play. Kind of like your mom used to do, you and your brothers just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And able to find Green. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Over.
He'll look to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. And now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A.J. Green with 2 ticks remaining. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. A handoff to Fournette. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now Leonard Fournette. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Bortles now on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And that'll bring up second down. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage.
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield, and the Bengals grab it. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. Running left, it's Mixon. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now the Bengals on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the press. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. Here's Kevin Huber now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start, because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
This being their second opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
Green 80! Green 80!
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Face mask. Defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul.
Automatic.
Just can't happen. Have to have poise.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Green 80.
From midfield, here's Bortles. He's going to float this one deep. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Keeping the aggression going on defense in overtime here, a first down blitz.
You know you can get burned on it big time if they pick it up. But in this situation, they brought the blitz, put some pressure on the QB, and he wasn't able to complete a pass downfield.
He's going to float this one deep right. He's got a man, complete. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Detroit! Over!
Now Joe Mixon. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fisher got his man. It's Eifert. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
He's starting to put together a nice drive. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Cincinnati, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the loss is number 8 for them on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.